Hello, beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today is July 4th here in the United States, and it is also Independence Day. And I have been seeing all over social media about how this is no longer Independence Day for half of the population being women who have just been taken their rights away to their own bodies. And this, ladies and gentlemen, it is the latest blow that has been thrown out into consciousness, into everyone around to create more and stir more anger, dis-ease from both sides, and just this feeling of wanting to fight, having lost on both sides. That's the feeling. I'm here to tell you today, as I'm channeling directly from the beings of light and also Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael are here, plus the presence of Jesus energy is here today for this channel message. It is in the wars that we see outside of us that the things that are no longer working, the things that are no longer serving us, show up to be destroyed and cleared, just like when we do the deep work, ladies and gentlemen. When we do the deep work, what do? We tune into ourselves and we search deeply within to see what it is and where did this event hurt stem from. We are guided to see a specific time in our lives, most likely when we were a child, and then we are able to connect that with events and things that happen in our life now, and we know that that was the beginning of the old belief that no longer serves, when that stemmed from, that has directed and formed our lives all until now. And so when we see things that seem as if they are regressing, they are not, because there is no going back. There is no regression. There is no moving backwards. It is only going forward. And sometimes the moving forward looks like we're taking 2 steps back before we move forward. I assure you, from here, from this point of view, from the energies that are sending this message to you, that things happen all with a purpose in order to help the ascension of the planet. We have been thrown one thing after the other, and with more proximity. It used to be something huge would happen, and then it would take months, maybe years, until the next big thing happened. Look at 9/11. 9/11 was a great time of awakening. When 9/11 happened and all of those souls were perished, the world came to a standstill of love and compassion and support. The entire world came together to help, to aid. Strangers on the streets were giving each other hands, giving each other rides home on that day. People who were stranded away from their homes were being lifted and taken by total strangers with the truth within their hearts that they wanted to help others, and others in full gratitude that they were being helped so that they can get home safely to their families after such horrific time. That time in 9/11 was one of the greatest lifts of humanity in terms of raising the vibration of the planet and consciousness. Each time something happens like this, you see people coming together, and that light worker is the work. That is the way that we shift from one to the other. It is in coming together from the separation that we have been instilled, that we have been pushed to believe that that is all there is, that we are separate beings, separate from each other, separate from the planet, separate from the earth, separate from the divine, which is the biggest lie of all. And it is in this moment that you are beginning to feel that light within you, to feel that yes, you are part of the divine, that the divine is within you, and that you really truly do have that light within you to help raise the frequency of the planet. And so we were hit with COVID, and the entire world shut down for 2 years. And more lies and more fears were fed into us so that we could what? Feel even more separated from the divine, from our power, and from others. It created such huge fights between the people, between families, the vax versus the unvax. What? You cannot come see your loved ones who are dying in the hospital bed if you are not vaxxed. Now I'm made to put something in my body that I do not feel is right for me in order to be able to see them. And this is after the vax came. At the beginning, people were just dying in solitude. No one was allowed in or out. What? The separation, the fear that was instilled upon human beings to make us do the things that they wanted us to do, even though it was not proven or safe. This is where most people this past 2 years had the huge awakening, because with all of the extra time of being locked down at home, not being able to see our friends and family, all that was left was going within. And it is in going within that you began to tune into your own light and tune into what felt right or wrong for you. And so many more people woke up during this time. Why? Because you had a chance to do it, because you were no longer distracted by everything else that was going around, by the media, by your friends, by life, because you had to stay home. This is why the Great Awakening just happened, and so many more souls have awoken and tuning into their gifts and are sharing their gifts and talking and speaking out, and also stopping and thinking and feeling before taking action or believing anything else that is being told by the media or the greater powers. And then after COVID happened, what happened? Another variant, another virus. And then after that, the war. And we're like, no, there's not going to be a war now. What's going on? There's no war. That's not going to get to that point. And then all of a sudden, boom, there it is. And we're seeing innocent people lose their lives again, and their homes, and all of the constructions, and all of the structure in the country, all of that being demolished. And what are we doing as a world? We are standing by for fear, because we feel so separate from the victims or from what's going on. If you don't feel separate, then you act and you do something, right? I'm not putting shame here on anybody or saying that things may be done one way or another. I'm just pointing out that if we feel that we are all one, then we do not stand by. We take action. And then what happened? Well, the war is still going on, but it's just running in the background right now. And so what's the next thing? Now is the reversal of a law from the 1950s that puts half of the population in the United States with less rights, going backwards. What? Yeah. And that feels the feels. And it is so incredible that it actually got to this point. But why did this happen is the question. Why did it get here? How did it get here? How does it seem that all of these injustices and crazy things are happening and happening and keep happening? And how are they happening when everyone seems to know that that is not the right way? Everyone, you say? Well, there's half the country who doesn't believe that, right? And this is true for every single thing that has been thrown at us in the last couple of years. I'm talking about the last 6 years, actually. The world has been divided. We have been divided. We have been taught and shown that we are separate and that you are you on your own and you're this lonely, punitive little thing that has no power. And you need to do whatever you're told in order to survive. And that is a lie. Because you, my friend, you are the divine. You have the divine within you. You make the divine. And so the power is within you. We are moving into the new earth, and the new earth is that which everybody wants. Ask anybody, any country, any race, any sex, any religion, what is it that you would love to see in this world? And every single person will tell you the same thing, which is peace and joy and ease. No more fighting, no more scarcity, no more struggling. We want to have a piece of love and ease. We want to enjoy life. We want to be living in harmony. We don't want to be with diseases. We want to be healthy. We want to thrive. And that's everyone, except those who are living within the shadows. And who are the ones who are living within the shadows? Those are the people who are so incredibly attached to outcome, so incredibly attached to the ego, which serves itself. And so those who just really want to gather more for themselves. More what? More things, more money. It doesn't matter. It's not that you can take it when you cross over. Those who are attached to that, to gathering more for me, at the expense of anyone and anything, without thinking of the consequences of what you're taking from them. Those are the souls who are still attached to the darkness, and it's okay. Because we live in a planet of duality. And they have the right to choose where they want to live and how they want to do it. And as the dark shadows see and feel more of this light come up, the light that you are shining out, the light that every light worker is sending out, the light that every single person who stops and thinks before they act is sending into the consciousness. That light is getting bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter, stronger and stronger, and it is felt all over the planet. And as this is felt all over the planet, what is happening? That the dark shadows are also feeling it, and they love their life so much, they are so attached that they are not going to let go, and they're also not going to go down without taking others with them. And this is why you're seeing so many events, one after the other, taking innocent lives left and right, here and there, more and more frequently, more and more often. This is why, because the dark shadows are feeling your light. And as they feel your light, they panic and they must act and do something. And so as they exit this earth, because That's the choice. The choice is, I do not want to go to the light, not in this lifetime, so I'm going to leave this world instead. With it, I'm going to take innocent light souls, because that's how I see it, as a dark soul. And so they take that, and then what happens? What happens after another school shooting of innocent, beautiful, innocent children? What happens? Besides the grief and the pain and the inconceivable thought that here we are again with something else like this happening, what happens is that the community and the world sends love and compassion to the victims. And it is in that love and compassion that so many people all over the country and planet are sending to those victims, that we raise the planet one more degree. And more light comes into the planet. And more light is felt throughout. And more people wake up. And this is the work. And don't think for a moment that those souls who left in vain, because it is their sacrifice, their own soul's purpose sacrifice, that they chose to live in such a violent, inconceivable way in order to help raise the frequency of the planet. And I know that if you are the parent or relative of someone that you lost like this feels like duty. Not to say a bad word here, but you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There are no words that a parent or a relative can hear that will make them feel better at the loss of their child. There are no words that can comfort anyone, even if it wasn't your child. Just the thought about losing your child when you see other people losing theirs, that thought, that fear, that pain within, there are no words that can make this better. But as a light worker, sending this message to you to know and understand that there is a bigger plan. That we may not understand what everything is and why it happens, but there really truly is a purpose. And this is the way that the earth is shifting to a higher consciousness of being. And here's something else, light worker. The new earth, when you see everyone loving each other, living in peace and harmony, as we all really feel we want deep inside of our hearts. As we get towards that new earth, you may not see it in this lifetime, and your children may or may not, but their children definitely will. Is the new generation of people coming in, the new babies coming in within the next 10 years that will see it, or at least the beginning of it. It is coming. We did not blow ourselves up this time. There will be no World War III. There are just too many light workers doing the work. There's too much light on the planet. We have crossed over that threshold. With the help of all of the entities and beings of light and amazing help from the angels, the divine, helping us make it through this time. We have done it. We are on the other side already. And this is exactly why you see so much darkness, so many impositions, so many things that make absolutely no sense. There are so many light workers doing the work and shining their light that everything is questioned now. Everything's coming up to the light. It can no longer be the way it was. Everything is coming up so it can be changed. And all those young souls that you are aware of having lost their lives in very brutal, violent ways. I've already said this, but it was their sole purpose to leave this earth, this planet, this way right now. And do you know why? Because they were such bright, strong light beings, and they're coming back right away. They're coming back, incarnating in the next generation so that they can actually see the results and the fruits of their work. And when they come back, listen to this, they will not come back like they came in this time, like you and I came in this time. They will come back awoken. They will remember who they were. They will remember the work that they had done. And this is how the planet begins and continues to shift and move forward. This message is not for everyone, I know. It is way out there. It might be way too much for some young souls who are just at the beginning of their journey. We are okay with that. Some people might hear this and completely not understand anything. It's like I'm speaking a completely different language, because I am. Or you may need to listen to this particular message several times for it to finally sink in so that you can understand the actual message of this. Or maybe you'll hear it down the line, a couple of weeks, months, maybe even years. And you'll find this message years from now and you'll listen to it, and then you'll be ready to understand it and receive it and transmute it within your body. Or maybe you'll hear the same exact message from someone else, because we tell you here, this message is not just being transmitted here by this one person, but it is being transmitted across the globe by many different light workers. And so you are bound to hear this message one way or another if you are on the light worker's path. And maybe you'll hear it later on and then it will make sense, and that is okay. So if this is not resonating with you right now, know that it's okay. But you did come across this for a reason. So just take the information and let it be, even if it's not for you right now. Allow it to settle within your body. And so it is.